Hi, here we are about 8 months after my last video. Apologize for taking so long getting back to this topic, but it was a case of having to deal with family issues that do come up with the passing of both my parents, to be specific, and everything that came from that. So as I've said in the other video, and I'll remind you here in this one, I am neither a lawyer nor an insurance industry professional. My specialty is real estate, and anything I share with you here, just my opinion, my personal opinions, based in large part on what I learned as I went through the process with my parents. And not all the pitfalls I'm going to talk to you about did we fall into. Luckily, we were able to have a better plan in place and avoid some of the issues that some families get into. But nonetheless, I feel it's important to share those here. So we talked before about wills and powers of attorney, and this time I'm going to talk about how both of those interact or connect with the life insurance situation. By law in Nova Scotia, life insurance proceeds do not form part of the estate, therefore cannot be specified in a will that how the money is going to be dealt with. There are a number of reasons for it, but the simplest one, as I understand it, is it keeps the money outside of the estate, therefore outside of probate, therefore the probate fees and everything that the estate will have to pay are not increased by the amount of the insurance policies. So the typical situation, you've got a husband and wife, and each will have the other as the beneficiary. And in recent years, insurance companies have come up with another term or another facet to their policies, and they call it contingent beneficiaries. Now, a contingent beneficiary, or alternate beneficiary, if you will, is largely misunderstood. And what we typically find happening, if it's used at all, is that they will specify the name of one child, often the oldest, or whoever it is that is going to, say, be the executor to the will. They may also be the person identified as the contingent beneficiary. And they will give that person verbal instructions, maybe in writing, but it doesn't matter, as to how the life insurance money is to be dealt with. And generally it would be, we'll share it equally with all of the kids. Well, that's all well and good to have the intention of that, but in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the insurance companies, the only person that matters after your passing is the beneficiaries. And let's say your spouse was your primary beneficiary, and they have predeceased you, and you didn't update your policy, which would be pretty typical, unfortunately. So then it falls to the contingent beneficiary. The insurance company will issue a check for the full amount of your life insurance policies to that person. And then that person alone gets to decide what happens with the money. So if they've had a falling out with any of the other people who you wanted to share in those proceeds, they may not have it. They may not get it. Yes, there could be legal battles, assuming the other party knew that they were supposed to have gotten some of that money, but then you're looking at years of battling and often thousands and tens of thousands of dollars spent in courts on lawyers. So the way to avoid all of that is simply make sure your contingent beneficiary list is up to date. The way I recommend you do that is pretty simple. Get a hold of your insurance company or your local sales agent, whoever it is you deal with, and name each individual that you want to, to share in your life insurance policy. So for example, if you had 4 children, then name all 4, and then you can also specify the percentage of the policy amount that that individual would receive. So if you wanted them to all share it equally, we just simply put their names, 25%, name, 25%, and so forth. Or break it down any way that you feel you wish to do. Just make sure that something is done and that it's up to date. So then upon your passing, the insurance company would be notified by your executor, who would then be asked to provide names and addresses for the other people who are listed on your policy. The executor would provide that information. The insurance company then will mail out checks to each individual in their name only. Keeps it outside of the estate. Make sure that everybody gets the value or the amount that you had wanted them to have, clean and simple, if it's done in that fashion. So that's about it, really. Powers of attorney, of course, I should comment on that. A power of attorney is being challenged more and more by all institutions. Insurance companies are no exception. And in fact, a power of attorney cannot change the beneficiary of your policy, cannot change your policy one iota. They can change how the monthly payments are being made and that sort of stuff to keep the policies alive until, or active, I guess would be a better choice of words, until after your passing. But they can't make any changes of beneficiaries. So the benefit that you get out of having a power of attorney in place is that the insurance company won't talk to anybody except you unless they have a power of attorney. So that opens a door to communication, not necessarily to changes. Those are entirely up to you. That's about it. So again, I hope you find this information helpful. Seek the advice of somebody in the profession that you need to deal with here, whether it's your lawyer or whether it's your insurance company. But seek that advice, and I hope you can use this information to ask them appropriate questions for your situation to make sure that your estate is indeed dealt with the way you want it dealt with. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Particularly, I'd like to hear from those who have suggestions for future videos. Of course, the majority of them will be dealing with real estate. At least that's my hope, but you know what? I'm here to help you in any way that I can, so if it means I have to go out and get advice from other professionals to pass along, then I'll certainly do that. But I thank you for watching, and hope you have a great day. Bye for now.